Yisrael with another Sabbath Day class. We thank you for joining us today. We are very elated that you decided to share your Sabbath with us. We are still talking about the kingdom, the gathering of the 1/3, the 1,000-year reign. All of this is very pertinent to what's going on in this day and time, because we will be able to take these prophecies and scriptures and we will open them up and lay them up against the news that's being reported and be able to see exactly where we are in the whole scheme of things. I wanted to share something with you all that happened to me yesterday. I was in the store, in the gas station yesterday, and this young man he looked black. And he was talking to these two other guys, and he asked them what their nationality was. And they told him, I think they said they were Samoan or something like that. And he said, oh, okay. He says, because I am Hawaiian. And I was just standing there because I was next in line, so I was behind him, and I heard him talk. He said, a lot of people, they look at us, and they think we black. He was like, but I'm really not black. I'm Hawaiian. And I stepped up to the counter after they left, and I said, so what is the nationality of your father? He said, my father is Cambodian, and my mother is Hawaiian. And I said, so then that means that you're from Cambodia. I said, because you are the lineage of whatever your father is. And he was like, oh, okay. He said, so I don't know. He said, ma'am, he was a young guy. He said, a lot of people think that because we have black skin and we have lightweight nappy hair that we African Americans. He said, like you don't look like you're African American. I said, I'm not. I said, I am a Hebrew Israelite from the land of Israel. I said, and that is where I'm from. He said, what tribe are you from? I said, I'm from the tribe of Yehudah. He said, well, I'm from the tribe of Levi. I said, oh, okay. So I did give him a card, which I hope he has a chance to call in today. He's a young guy, we talked a little bit more about some other things, but, this thing is spreading really fast. It's getting out there everywhere, across all age barriers, so I thought that was very, very, very inspiring, and we had that. So I want to deal with regeneration. We're going to go over some things that we went over last week so that you guys can have a pretty good understanding of what this is. Regeneration. We're going to deal in the New Testament. We're in Matthew chapter 19. This is very important. It is very important that you write this down because you're going to be able to use this again to establish a point. Very, very, very important. We're going to start at verse 27.
27 of what scripture? Wait a minute. Let me move this out the way.
Chapter 19.
Got it.
All right. Everybody else got it? Anybody have any questions? Let me pause this for a minute. Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I have a quick question. So you say he had nappy hair and dark skin, and his daddy is a Cambodian, but he's from the tribe of Levi. What?
Possibility.
How does that work?
We're all over the world. We scattered all over the world in the four corners.
Yeah, but most of us know what we are. We know who we came from. We know that if we got nappy hair and dark skin, that, we come from Jacob. Levi come from Jacob, just like we did.
Everybody doesn't know that.
Oh, well, it was your opportunity to school, brother.
Everybody doesn't know that. Their information is limited, so we have to, but I gave him the necessary tools for him to be able to go and get the information that he needs. Hold on one moment, please. Opportunity that he needed to be able to see that and to be able to share, who we are and what we're doing. So he has an opportunity to come to the class, or if he wanted a physical class, I gave him that opportunity as well. So I just wanted to make sure I put that out there, but the fact that, he knows about Israel, is a miracle. Because he did say he knew he was from the tribe of Levi. Anybody else have any questions? Comments? All right, I guess not. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get started back on our PowerPoint presentation. All right, so we're in the regeneration. Matthew chapter 19. We are at verse number 27. And here we go. It says, Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have, therefore? He said, what are we going to get out of the deal? Because we done walked away from everybody. And Israel said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Now, if they're going to sit upon 12 thrones in the regeneration, in the 1,000-year reign, judging the 12 tribes of Israel, where are they coming from? How are they going to have access to the 12 tribes of Israel? That's the question. Hold that thought. Here we go. Watch. Just keep that thought. And everyone that has forsaken houses or brethren or sister or father or mother or wife or children or land for my sake, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first. All right, now we're going to go to Revelation chapter 2. Because in order for you to get this, Shalom, Sister Leah, in order for you to get this, you got to overcome. This is not something that you just going to have. Shalom, shalom, sis. How are you?
I am good, thank you.
Good to hear from you. Good to hear from you.
How are you doing?
I am
thank you.
Well.
Brilliant.
This is our sister from the United Kingdom. Okay, so watch Revelation chapter 2, verse 26 through 29. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nation. So not only are you going to get everlasting life, but when you get ready to make this transition, he's going to give you power over the nations. And we have already established last week that there are going to be other nations. So a lot of these people out here teaching that nobody's going to be left with Israel. It's going to be our world, and all that is not true. There will be other nations involved. There will be other nations left, and we will rule over those nations. Any questions? Here we go, 27. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. And I will give him the morning star. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the church. Let's go to Revelation chapter 20, verses 4 through 6. He said, I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yehudah. So we know that people are going to get their heads cut off. And I know this is going to be hard for a lot of people. A lot of people can't handle this because this goes against what you have been taught, but this is what the scriptures say. These people are going to be beheaded because of the testimony of Yehudah. And we know that they already have the guillotines. The guillotines are already here. We know that. Watch. And for the word of Yah, and which have not worshipped the beast, I'm sorry about that to God. I don't know where that came from. Neither his image, neither have received his mark upon their forehead or in their hand. and they live and reign with Messiah 1,000 years. So this is going to be the 1,000-year kingdom. Now, we can establish this 1,000-year kingdom in the Old Testament and in the New Testament. It's not just in Revelation. And we're going to do that today because a lot of people say, well, you just read out Revelation. We're going to go to the Old Testament too. We definitely going to go to the Old Testament because this is the gathering of the 1/3. This has to be done before he can have his kingdom. Why is this necessary? Because these 1/3, these are the 1/3 that was slung out of heaven by the dragon's tail. And when he came to the earth, he told you, I came but for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And that's why we established before that in order for you to rule on this earth, you have to have a certain kind of bloodline. And in order for you to rule over mankind on this earth, or humans over this earth to that fact, you have to have a certain bloodline. It's just not, you just can't wake up one day and say, I'm going to make myself a prince, or I'm going to be a king, and I'm going to move into a castle, and people going to serve me. It doesn't work that way. If that's the case, we'd have castles all over the place. There has to be a protocol set in place for people to worship you in the first place. There's got to be something about them people over in England that the people reverence them enough that they don't run up in the palace and take it over and put them out on the street. It's got to be something. It's just not a normal thing for people. You look at what we call movie stars here in this land. We got movie stars that live in houses and live in Hollywood and have all their little stuff together, and they do certain things, but nobody really worships them. You might have a few people that are a little loose up at the top, and the elevators don't go all the way to the top floor, that they sit at home fantasizing and worshiping them, to the point where they do certain things. But I'm telling you, this is on a whole nother level where you have power over people. You are able to mandate certain things and laws and lands, and there has to be a certain protocol and a bloodline that has to be in place. That the Most High gives you the authority to do this because nobody's allowed to do this just because. They cannot do this just because. And this is why when the Messiah's turn to rule his 1,000 years, it's going to be a certain bloodline that's going to rule it. And I'm going to prove that today. There's going to be both mortals and immortals in his kingdom. And I'm going to prove that today. There will be Israel in his kingdom, and there will be other nations in his kingdom, and I'm going to prove that today.
Sister Jane, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, these other nations will be in their own land.
Yes, ma'am.
Will be in their land ruling over them.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, you will have control over them. Yes, ma'am.
And then some of them will be our servants where we
are. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
okay.
ma'am. Mm-hmm. And this is a hard pill for Israel to swallow because a lot of Israelites be like, well, how come all the Israelites ain't going to make it, but you mean some of the Gentiles is going to make it? Yes, that's what the scriptures say. Because guess what? Let me tell you what's so important about this particular time that we're in today. This particular time that we're in today is because this is the gathering of the 1/3. This is why you count yourself privileged, because you are being put in the gathering of the 1/3.
It's kind of funny because I was going to ask you that question. Do you think that this Great Awakening is really actually the gathering of the 1/3? And you just answered my question.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. These are they that he spoke about in the scriptures. This is the 1/3 gathering right here, those people that make the cut. Now, how much time it's going to take, I can't pinpoint that. All I know in terms of time is that we're going to be in the wilderness for 3.5 years. I can tell you that for an surety because the word says that. After the wilderness experience, I don't know the time frame. I don't like to fill in the blanks because I can't tell you that. I don't know. But I do know we're going to be in that wilderness for 3.5 years. I want to share that with you so we can put that in there. Here we go. That's verse 5. But the rest of the dead live not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. So once he gets his kingdom, if you make the cut, you are a part of those that made it in the resurrection. Interesting. He said, blessed and holy is he that take part in the first resurrection. On such the second death have no power. But they shall be priests. Watch it. Don't hang up now because you're about to lose the best part. They're going to be priests of Yah and of the Messiah and shall reign with him 1,000 years. So they're going to be priests. And the priest is the 1/3. The people that make it in the 1,000 years are going to be priests, and the 1/3 is going to be the priesthood.
Okay.
Is that going to be from the line of Levi?
No. You're moving too fast. Slow down. We're on our way there. No.
Okay. My question.
The Levitical priesthood is going to be a totally separate line. This priesthood would be after the order of Melchizedek. And a lot of the Hebrew Israelites have said that Melchizedek was Shem. Not according to what this scripture says here. Can't be. I know I'm going to get in trouble today. When I put this together, I said, you might as well get ready because folks going to be mad at you. You might as well get ready because these people are going to be mad at you. But it's time out for tiptoeing around this. This is what it says. These people, when you make the first cut in the resurrection and in the regeneration, not only will you be a part of the third, but you will be priest. And you're going to rule over the nations. You're going to keep them in line. You're going to be like, no, you're going to be able to do that. Don't do that. You're not allowed to do that. Don't do that either. She said he's going to rule with a rod of iron. His kingdom is going to be peaceful.
Now, I got a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So confused. The 1/3 will be the people who make the cut from the wilderness. Then
yes, ma'am.
Are resurrected are not a part of the 1/3 then, right? From the dead.
We ain't got there yet. Throw that out. That's just something I told you in a whole other lesson. Throw that out. Let me walk you through it, and then I'll answer your question as we walk through it.
Okay.
Let's just take it one step at a time so you get the information and keep it in its proper context. Right now, we're just dealing with those that make the cut.
Okay. In the flag.
Okay. Kind of like a statement sort of question where I had read, I couldn't find it again, but where it was saying that Melchizedek and Shem was the same. So what I did was I dug a little deeper, and what I found was that that they're two different people, but that when Noah had Shem to go back to the ark and get Adam's remains from the ark and bury them somewhere. I think it stated where he told him to bury them, but in his going there, he ran into some other people, but he did take a person that was named Melchizedek, and at the time he was supposed to have been like a teenager, and so they asked him on his way back from burying the remains of Adam, what happened to the young man that was with him, and he said he passed away along the journey. But in the storyline, it did not say that Melchizedek passed away.
Let me stop you real quick. That's going into a whole other book, because the next thing the people are going to ask is, where did you read that at?
Oh, okay.
And that's when we don't want to do that. We don't want to bring anything else in there but the Bible.
Oh, okay. I got this out of the Apocrypha. I did not get this out of a private book. I got this out of the Apocrypha, but I will go right.
I understand. Okay. I understand. But I'm trying to stay in the Bible right now. Just stick strictly. I know the Apocrypha is a part of the Bible. I understand what they said. I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying the Israelites say that the Melchizedek in the Bible is Shem. According to this, it cannot be.
Right. I agree.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of you are way farther advanced than some, but just try to keep it as simple as possible because I want to get through this lesson. I have a lot to give you. And like I said, as we move through this 1,000-year reign, it's going to upset some people. I know I'm going to get in trouble. I know I'm going to get some emails and some folks going to hang up, but it would do you, it would behoove you to just listen and gather the information and go from there. Because so many people have been taught so many things about the Messiah, about the New Testament, about all kind of stuff from so many different people that when we bring in the concept of the 1/3, it changed the game. It changed things. Because a lot of people said, oh, I remember one brother told me, give me one reason. He told me, just give me one reason why the Messiah came, and I'll change my mind again. Really? You just need one reason why he changed? You mean one reason changed it? But it's okay. Because guess what? He got his reason now. But let's go. Let's see what the scriptures say. He said, but they shall be priests of Yah and of, I don't call him Jesus Christ anymore. I call him Yisrael. So when I replace Jesus Christ with Yisrael, and it goes back to him calling the children of Israel in 2 Chronicles 7:14, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will they hear from heaven, and then will I heal their land. So we know that his name, we are called the children of Yisrael. He said, when they asked him, why did he come? He said, I came but for the lost sheep of the house of who?
Israel.
Of Israel. So when you hear me replace that name with Israel, that's who it is. Some people call him Yahushua. Some people call him Yehoshua. I'm going to call him Israel because that's his name.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Are Israel and the Father the same people? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not. No, the Father is the Father. Nobody can take his place. That's Yah. Yah is the Father. And when we get in the New Testament, which we're in the advanced class, you will see that when Israel is talking, he never supersedes the Father.
Oh, so his name is Israel instead of the Father.
Yes, because the house of Israel is what he came to redeem.
Oh, okay.
So what I read, if you read something else, let me know.
No.
He said,
I didn't know. That was the question.
No, I'm not being sarcastic. I'm not. And I would never be sarcastic. I'm just saying that's what I get from it. Because he said that he came but for his people. So if he's coming for his people, and he's coming to redeem his people, and then he said, if my people who are called by my name would humble themselves and pray, then his name would have to be Israel. He told Jacob, I surnamed you my name.
Hello?
Yes,
was he the one that wrestled with Jacob, and that's how Israel existed? He gave him his name for his descendants?
I can't hear you. You sound a little mumbled.
And was he the one that Jacob was with, and that's why he named him Israel?
Is that the one who he wrestled with?
Yeah, the angel. Was it Christ, Israel, that you call it Israel? That's why Jacob ended up with the name Israel for his seed?
I don't want to touch that right now. Let me get through that, and then we'll come back to that later because I don't want to spill out anything.
Okay. All right.
You hold on to that question, and then we're gonna go back.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. We still moving. I ain't gonna forget. Don't let me forget it. Okay. So here we go. Okay. Now we're gonna deal with the Immortals. Somebody please put your phone on mute. There's an echo. Okay. Here we go. Now we're dealing with the Immortal. Matthew chapter 22, verse 24 through 28. I think this is the one we needed to fix. I'm not sure. Somebody let me know if this is the right one. It says, saying, Master, Moses wrote unto us, if a man's brother die, having a wife, and he die, without children, that his brother should take his wife and raise up seed unto his brother. There were therefore 7 brothers, and the first took a wife and died without children. Now this is our custom. If you were to marry a man and he has 7 brothers, when we're in our land, if the husband dies, the custom is that the brother who has no wife is supposed to marry you and have a child and render the name of the brother who died, give that name to that child so that that brother's lineage can live on. That was our custom. So they're asking him this question. Watch what he says. And the second took her to wife, and he died childless. So she's married to the second brother. And the third took her in like manner, the 7th also, and they left no children and died. Watch what happened. Last of all, the woman died also. So everybody dead now. The wife died dead. All the brothers are dead. Watch what he said. Therefore, in the resurrection, whose wife of them is she? For 7 had her to wife. He said, which wife she going to be? Who she going to belong to? Watch what now. He talks about his kingdom. Watch what he says. And Yisrael answering said unto them, the children of this world marry and are given in marriage. He said, the way you do it now, being human, you marry and you have a wife. He said, but they which shall be accounted worthy to obtain that world and the resurrection from the dead, neither marry nor are given in marriage. Why? Neither can they die anymore, for they are equal unto the angels.
They're blowing away.
And are the children of Yah, being the children of the resurrection. So once you make the cut, you don't die no more. So you're immortal. So not only are you ruling over the nations, and not only are you considered to be the priest, but you are accounted of as immortal because you will not be able to die again, according to this. Now, somebody would say, prove that in the Old Testament, and you best believe I'm on my way. I'll tell you that. I'm on my way today. Okay. Any questions at all? Now they got quiet on me. Hold on, let me get some water because everybody got quiet. Ain't nobody saying nothing.
There was a question in the chat.
Process.
That was saying, I thought Jacob was Israel.
He is. He is. What did the Most High say when he gave him his name Israel? He said, I'm going to do what? Didn't he say, I'm going to surname you my name?
Yes.
Sister Yaina, what scripture was that? That was Matthew 22?
Yes, ma'am. Hold on, let me get I'm trying to get some water, and I had a... Y'all got to pay attention now. Yes, I got to go all the way back. You're messing up my flow.
It was Matthew. It was
Matthew 22. Go ahead, Sister Sanaya.
Okay, first of all, you read Matthew 22, 24 to 28.
Mm-hmm.
Then Matthew 22, 29 to 32.
Yeah, that's right. I'm on my way there. Mm-hmm. So not only are you're going to live, He said, but when you make the cut, if you make it in the new world, you made it. Somebody said, we got to process our He said, if you made your, he said, if you be counted worthy to obtain that world. I mean, you got to overcome. That's what I say, to him that overcome it. It ain't just enough to tell us in the street corner time, but we Israel. We know, no, not this time. Everybody got to make the cut. You're going to make the cut on this one. He said, and today we shall be counted worthy to obtain that world and the resurrection from the dead. Neither marry nor are given in marriage, neither can they die anymore, for they are equal unto the angels. Watch. And are of the children of Yah, being the children of the resurrection. Now that the dead are raised, even Moses showed at the bush when he called the Most High, the God of Abraham and the God of Isaac and the God of Jacob.
Is this Matthew 22? I'm sorry, is this Matthew 22?
Yeah. It's not lining up. It's not lining up.
Hold on. Hey. Everybody take a deep chill. Just hold on a minute. Hold on. Don't yell, okay, because we're recording this. If it's not, just put it in the chat, okay, because we're recording this, okay? Okay. Can we do that? I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions about what we just read? You guys are so passionate. I have to stop you. It's always Israel women, though. Y'all be like, hey, calm down. It's going to be all right.
Yeah, it's just that, you're moving pretty fast. You're
okay.
Reading a continuation of 22.
Okay.
And then I try to keep up and put it in the chat. Okay, so you're starting at 33 now, and then I'll see how you go, and I put it in the chat.
Okay. Now, is that good enough for you guys? You guys got it? Everybody okay?
With reading, it don't match my Bible. I have a King James. I have no problem. But
hold on. Put it in the chat, okay? Let's just put it in the chat. And we're going to go here. Let me start this over so you can have it. You just got to calm down. If we got to back up and do it over, we will. Okay. But we're taping this, and this is going on the internet, and I ain't going nowhere. If we got to be here to 7 o'clock tonight, we'll get it right. Okay? Just take a deep breath and just calm down. Everybody okay?
Okay. Now, we're supposed to be in 22. I'm looking
at my goodness. Hold on. Let me check it. Let me make sure. But from what we just read with the resurrection, are you okay with that?
Yes.
Do you understand that part?
Yes.
No.
Okay. What part of the resurrection don't you understand?
Okay, no, I understand the resurrection, but I'm not. Was that 33 that said that?
Hold on, I'm coming back to there. 32. And go all the way to 32.
Okay.
32. Stop at 32. Okay.
This is. Can I say this? Okay.
No, I just want you to stop at 32. Matthew 22:32. Hold on. We're going to make sure we get this right, okay? Take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. I want you to be okay. Okay? All right, here we go. Now, it says on 32, it says, I am the God of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob. We're still in 22. We're in Matthew chapter 22.
Yes, that lines up what you just said.
Is that okay?
Yeah, but what's on the screen under 32 don't
Ma'am, we're trying to correct that, okay?
Oh, okay, thank you.
No, you're welcome. You okay now?
Okay.
All right. Let's take it
But in
easy.
it says it looks like Luke 28 to 38.
Yeah, we'll be okay. We're going to get it together. Okay, we got you together now. All right, so the last verse we read was Matthew 22 to 32. And then Matthew chapter 22, verse 32 say, I am the God of Abraham, I am the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Got that part?
Yes.
Is everybody there?
Everybody's still here tonight. They ain't hung up.
No, I'm just saying, are they at the place that you're reading? That's what I mean. Matthew 22, she left off at verse 32, and she started verse 33.
Now, if you got that part, you read it all the way down to 32. Matthew chapter 22 down to 32. You got that?
Yep.
Yep. All right. As long as we got that. There we go. So we started at 24, and we read it all the way down to 32.
Mm-hmm.
You got it?
Yep.
All right. Now, let's move on. Any questions?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay. All right. Here we go. Now we get ready to deal with the mortals. I want to be able to show you who the mortals are in the scripture, because we already know who the immortals are going to be. And the immortals are going to be priests, and they're going to rule over the nations, and they will not die anymore, and they will not have any children, and they will not be married anymore. That's over. They have made the cut from mortal to immortal. Now, we're still in the kingdom. All right? Here we go. All right. Ezekiel chapter 43. We're going to start at verse 1. All right. It says, afterwards, he brought me to the gate, even the gate that looketh toward the east. And behold, the glory of the Elohim of Israel came from the way of the east. And his voice was like a noise of many waters, and the earth shined with his glory. Now, that's the one thing you need to write down when it comes to the Messiah, because he has a distinctive sound about his voice, and it's always the sound of many waters. Yeah. Okay? All right, here we go. Watch what he says. And it was according to the appearance of the vision which I saw, even according to the vision that I saw when I came to destroy the city. And the visions were like the visions that I saw by the river of Kibar, and I fell upon my face. Do you remember what Ezekiel saw when he was at the river of Kibar? Does anybody remember what that vision was?
Did he see the chariots with the wheels?
Yes. That is when he saw the chariots with the wheels. And he saw the creatures with the four faces. And he saw the throne that was covered in blue. And the crystal that the blue throne was sitting on top of. Yes. Why? And the glory of the Most High came into the house by the way of the gate, whose prospect is toward the east. So the Spirit took me up and brought me into the inner court, and behold, the glory of the Most High filled the house. And I heard him speaking unto me out of the house, and the man stood by me. And he said unto me, Son of man, the place of my throne and the place of the soles of my feet, where I will dwell in the midst of the children forever, and my holy name shall the house of Israel no more defile, neither they nor their king by their whoredom, nor by the prophets of their kings in their high places, in their settings of their thresholds, by their thresholds, and their posts by my post, and their wall between me and them. They have even defiled my holy name by their abominations they have committed. Wherefore I have consumed them in mine anger. Now let them put away their whoredom and the carcasses of their kings far from me, and I will dwell in the midst of them forever. Thou son of man, show the house to the house of Israel, that they may be ashamed of their iniquities, and let them measure the pattern. Now he's talking about the temple that's coming. Watch. And if they be ashamed of all that they have done, show them the form of the house, and the fashion thereof, and the going out thereof, and the coming in thereof, and all the forms thereof, and all the ordinance thereof, and all the forms thereof, and all the laws thereof, and write it in their sight, that they may keep the whole form thereof, and all the ordinance thereof, and do them. Somebody's making noise with your phone. Can you put your phone on mute? We can hear you turning pages. This is the law of the house. Upon the top of the mountain, the whole limit thereof round about shall be most holy. Behold, this is the law of the house. So that's where he's going to be. That's how it's going to be set up. And that's where he's going to dwell at. And this is how it's going to run. Now we're getting ready to get into the people. Watch what he says. Zechariah chapter 8, verse 1. Again, the word of the Most High of hosts came unto me, saying, Thus saith the Most High of hosts, I was jealous for Zion with a great jealousy, and I was jealous for her with great fury. Thus saith the Most High, I am returned unto Zion, and will dwell in the midst of Jerusalem. So he's coming to be in Jerusalem to dwell. Watch. And Jerusalem shall be called a city of truth, and the mountain of the Most High of hosts, the holy mountain. Thus saith the Most High of hosts, there shall yet old men, here go the mortals, and old women dwell in the streets of Jerusalem, every man with his staff in his hand for very age. And the streets of the city shall be full of boys and girls playing in the streets thereof. Watch it. Thus saith the Most High of hosts, if it be marvelous in the eyes of the remnant of this people in these days, should it also be marvelous in mine eyes, saith the Most High of hosts. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, I will save my people from the east country and from the west country, and I will bring them, and they shall dwell in the midst of Jerusalem, and they shall be my people, and I will be their Elohim in truth and in righteousness. Thus saith the Most High of hosts, it shall yet come to pass that there shall come people as the inhabitants of many cities. And the inhabitants of one city shall go to another, saying, let us go up speedily to pray before the Most High, to seek the Most High of hosts. I will go also. Yea, many people and strong nations, you go to other people, the other nations, shall come to seek the Most High of hosts in Jerusalem, and to pray before the Most High. Thus saith the Most High of hosts, in those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all the languages of the nation, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is an Israelite, saying, we will go with you, for we have heard that Elohim is with you. Any questions before I go any further? So now we have established that there shall be mortals in the land. There shall be old men, and there shall be old women, and there shall be young boys, and there shall be young girls playing in the streets of Jerusalem, and those are Israelites.
Right. Sister Yana, the last verse, was that 20?
I'm not finished yet. I just stopped at a certain point.
Oh, okay. You just paused. Okay.
I guess I am.
Yes, you are. But was that 20?
Yes.
Was that 20? What was that, 20?
23. 23.
Okay, I'm trying to keep up. I'm going to put it in the chat.
Not only will it be those people, but it's going to be people of other nations and people of other languages that are going to be there. So that kills all that stuff about it ain't going to be nobody but Israel. That's not true. There's going to be other nations that are going to be there that we will rule over. And like I said, they're going to look at you and be like, man, there's something wrong with that lady. That lady don't seem like she's human. And then somebody else will be like, oh, you tripping. She eating and sleeping just like we are. Ain't nothing wrong. No, that lady ain't something ain't right about that lady. That lady don't look like she's human. And you're not going to be. You're going to be immortal.
Can you?
One at a time. One at a time. Yeah, go ahead.
So men and women?
I got 3 people talking, so you guys take your time, one at a time. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Somebody first.
Okay. Men and women?
These are men and women and boys and girls. Yes, ma'am. We just read that. Let me go back again. Hold on. Go back again. Hold on. Let me see. Am I going back or so forward? Hold on. Let me see. Because I just read that one. I know I did. Just one moment. Here we go.
Zachariah?
That is Zechariah chapter 8. And it says, here we go, verse 4. Thus saith the Most High of Hosts, there shall yet old men and old women dwell in the streets of Jerusalem, every man with his staff in his hand for very age. Verse 5, and the streets of the city shall be full of boys and girls playing in the streets thereof. Next question, somebody else?
I have a question, a couple questions in the chat from guests.
Mm-hmm.
The one says, will we know we are immortal?
Yes.
And the next question is, are the priests men or women or both?
Say that again now.
Are the priests men or women or both?
Well, that's a real good question right there. For the immortals, it does not specify that it is just men. It doesn't specify that it's just men. For the immortals. Now, we're going to move on down a little bit further that'll specify the rest. Any other question? What else you got, Sister Sanaya?
That's it now.
Shalom. Shalom. Hold on. Shanaya's still talking. What'd you say, Sanaya?
I was just saying that's it for now.
Okay, anybody else?
Shalom, this is Sister Couture. I have a question. I keep getting kicked out of the class, and I'm sorry, but can we go back to the order of Melchizedek? Because Deuteronomy states that Levi and his sons would be a holy priest to Yah in Israel forever. So I'm not sure where Melchizedek.
Hold on, Sister. What's Sister Pure? I'm on my way to there right now. I'm getting ready to go there right now. I promise. Okay. Hold on. Here we go. All right, here we go. I'm glad you asked that question. Anybody else before I take her there?
So just one more question. There are 2 different levels of Israel.
Yes, ma'am. One mortal and one immortal. Yes, ma'am. And I'm getting ready to prove that to you right now.
Okay.
Isaiah chapter Isaiah chapter 65. Hold on, Sister Sinai. Let me go to this. Isaiah chapter 65, verse 17. Isaiah chapter 65, verse 17. For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered nor come into mind. But be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing, and a people her joy. Watch what he says. And I will rejoice in Jerusalem and joy in my people. And the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying. There shall be no more then an infant of days, nor an old man that has not fulfilled his days. So everybody is going. Everybody is going to be able to live out their years. Watch what he says. For the child shall die 100 years old, but the sinner being 100 years old shall be accursed. Watch. They shall build houses and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and eat the fruit of them. They shall not build and another inhabit. They shall not plant and another eat. For as the days of a tree are the days of my people, and mine elect shall long enjoy the works of their hands. So everything that we go to put our hand to in the land, we will enjoy every bit of it. Every bit of it. Watch what he says. They shall not labor in vain, nor bring forth for trouble, for they are the seed of the blessed of the Most High, and their offspring with them. Watch what he says. It shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer. And while they are yet speaking, I will hear. He said, I'm going to be on it. It's going to be some mental communication going on. You ain't even going to have to say, I want. It's going to be right there for you. You ain't never going to be able to say, I need. He said, I'll make sure you have it right there. Watch what he says. The wolf and the lamb shall feed together, and the lion shall eat straw like the bullock, and the dust shall be the serpent's meat. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, saith the Most High. All right, now, any questions about that? Those are the mortals. They're going to live a long life.
Okay.
Everything go back to normal.
Wasn't answered. There was a question in the chat while you were talking. Are the children going to be immortal?
No, they will not be immortal. They have to live a long life. It is those people that make the cut. Now, if the children, I don't believe that children are part of the 1/3. No, I don't. Not the 1/3. I believe that they're mortal when they start out. But let me finish. It says Ezekiel chapter 44, verse 17. It shall come to pass that when they enter in at the gates of the inner courts, they shall be clothed with linen garments. This is the priesthood. And no wool shall come upon them while they minister in the gates of the inner court and within. They shall have linen bonnets upon their heads, and shall have linen breeches upon their loins. They shall not gird themselves with anything that causes sweat. And when they go forth unto the utter court, even into the outer court, to the people, that they shall put off their garments wherein they ministered, and lay them in the holy chambers, and they shall put on the other garments, and they shall not sanctify the people with their garments. Neither shall they shave their heads, nor suffer their locks to grow long. They shall only poll their heads. Neither shall any priest drink wine when they enter into the inner court. Neither shall they take for their wives a widow, nor her hold on, I don't know why this keeps popping up, that is put away. Oh, wait a minute. So this priesthood is the Levitical priesthood. And this priesthood is the mortal priesthood. Why do you say that, Yana? Because this priesthood can get married. Remember the question that was posed in Matthew chapter 19? Whose wife shall she be? What did he say? If you make the cut of the 1/3, you won't need to be married anymore. Because what? You will be like the angels. Watch. It says, but they shall take maidens of the seed of the house of Israel, or a widow that had a priest before. Any questions? So, Sister Couture, the answer to your question is that you are absolutely right. The Levitical priesthood will always be here, but they will be here for those that are mortal. And they will be mortal, and they will be allowed to get married, and they will have wives. So you got two different priesthoods going on. You got one that's after the Levitical priesthood, and you got another one after the order of Melchizedek. Somebody please put your phone on mute.
Okay, Sister Aina.
Yes,
Was
ma'am.
the last verse in Ezekiel 44, 22 or 24? I'm just trying to make sure I have it right.
My gosh. The last verse is 22.
Okay.
The verse is 22. So they're allowed to have a wife, and he's going to bring back that same principle for the Levitical priesthood. I'm going to put somebody's phone on mute. I don't want to have to mute everybody. They're allowed to get married. They're allowed to have wives. They're allowed to have children because they're going to cohabitate. Why? Because they're going to be birthing Israelites back into the earth.
Okay, so I have a question. If y'all said that they were going to be here to minister to him and to Israel forever, then how is Melchizedek going to minister to him also?
I didn't say Melchizedek. I said after the order of Melchizedek. So they're going to be immortal. The real Melchizedek that was on this earth, that was the king of Salem, was not a human being. So that's something totally separate. You got the Levitical priesthood that's going to minister to the children of Israel, the old men, the old women, the boys, the girls, the infants. Those are the people that are mortal. They're going to minister to them. That's when the sacrifice is going to come back. All that's coming back. But then you have the immortal priesthood that's going to rule over the nations and keep everything in order according to the way he wants his government to run.
Shalom, this is Adonia. I got a question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, my question is, what is the order of Melchizedek? Hello?
I'm here. I haven't gone anywhere. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out where this noise is coming from off of this phone. Okay, now what you asked me again?
What is the order of Melchizedek?
Melchizedek's order is in immortality. That's what the order of Melchizedek is immortality. Because Melchizedek was not human. The real one, the king of Salem, was not human. And a lot of the Israelites say that was Shem, but that was not Shem according to what this said. So, like I said, you got one priesthood we just proved that in the scripture, where they will not be human. They will not die anymore. They're going to be like the angels, and they're going to be priests. And they're going to rule over the nations with a rod of iron. And then you have the Levitical priesthood that is going to handle the temple of Yah. And then they're going to help the people understand the sacrifices and the things that they do for sin, because these people will have to understand what this sin is all about. The other priesthood is going to make sure the government runs. That's the 1/3, according to the way I understand it. Let me finish. I'm getting ready to get to the immortality of this.
So one question real quick.
Yes, ma'am.
So is we're looking at hierarchy. So is it the tribe of Levi and then Melchizedek? Because I'm looking at from the point where Yah said they would, I'm not talking about us, the children of Israel, or the immortality. I'm talking about from Yah. He said that Levi and his children would minister to him forever. So will they continue to minister unto Yah while the under Melchizedek will be over us? Do that make sense?
Yes, that makes a lot of sense. They will minister unto Yah in his temple. They're going to do the same thing they did before. Hold on, I got my earpiece. They're going to do the same thing they did before. They're going to wear the same clothes they wore before. They're going to minister unto him doing the same thing they did in the temple before. Nobody can take their place with that part.
So
that
it's
is
really
them.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So it's really going back to the original tabernacle they were doing before. It's nothing changing.
Hey. The only thing that's changing is that the 1/3 that the dragon's tail swept out of heaven has been redeemed.
Right.
And they're running the government of the 1,000-year reign for the Most High. But when it comes to the temple order and the order of the sacrifice and who ministers unto Yah, that will always be the Levitical priesthood.
Right.
That would never change.
So that means that Melchizedek or the ones under him cannot touch the ark.
They can't touch anything, no. Their job is the government. Don't think about the spiritual part of it, the government. They're going to make sure the other nations stay in place.
So is it the priest, which is the Levites, which the priesthood of Yah forever, and then the priesthood, two different group?
Say that again, I didn't understand.
Well, priest as the Levites, and then you have the priesthood he talks about in Deuteronomy and other in the Old Testament about the priesthood, being a priesthood. So are those two different groups, priest and priesthood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. One is mortal and one is immortal. And maybe you shouldn't say priest. You could just say ambassadors for the ones that are immortal.
Okay.
Since it's confusing people because they're like, wait a minute, a priest is a priest and a Levite is a priest. No, he said that they would be priests, and in the interim of things, they're going to make sure that the other nations stay in place because there will be nations that will be left, that will be on this earth, and we know Egypt is definitely going to be one of the ones that will be left and will stay on this earth, and somebody is going to have to make sure that they do what it is that they're supposed to do because these people will still be dying. They will just be dying of an older age.
And what people is that, the priesthood?
The people that are mortal.
Oh, mortal. Okay.
Sister
And this is all during the 1,000 years, right?
Yes, ma'am. This is the whole 1,000-year reign. This is during the whole 1,000-year reign.
Okay.
And guess what? The Messiah will be in the mountain in his house. That's where he will dwell, in the midst of Jerusalem. He will be right there. But there's an order, and there's always been an order with all of the kingdoms in our kingdom, that there's a certain way that things are done in a hierarchy of the way that they do them. It's just like anywhere else. The CEO doesn't run the finance department. He has people that run the finance department. And those people report to people, and those people report to people, and that's how it's going to be there.
Can I ask you one more question?
On the chapter.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Okay, so and I don't want to jump ahead, and this may not have anything to do with it, but Revelation 22, it talks about the 12 manner of fruits and how everyone...
No, that's something else. That's something totally else. That's something else.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
In the chat have questions on the subject.
Okay.
One asks, was the king of Salem without a wife, no seed?
Yes. No, he did not have a wife.
Okay, and another guest asked, well, it's the same person, I think, will Esau live long life too during 1,000 years?
No, Esau will be done away with.
When you say Esau, is that white people?
Now we're not gonna get into that because I'm not completely written on the fact that all white people are Esau.
Right. Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm not. I mean, you know, because to say all white people are Esau would say that there would be no other nations left, but only people of color, and I don't believe that that's how it's going to be. I don't know about that part. I can't say for sure one way or the other.
Shalom, Mr. Adonia. I got another question. From what I understand is that the Gentiles are the Europeans, which are white people. You understand? And,
right.
But my question is there any other white people?
I don't know. I can't answer that. I don't know. Those are the questions that I think that we have to wait to ask y'all because I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, when it comes to Esau, we know Esau was red and he was hairy all over, and I know what the other Hebrew Israelites say, but I don't know about that. I don't really know.
Well, let me go a step further and say that Esau is a Hebrew. He can't be a Gentile and be a Hebrew. You understand? The Japhet was cohabitated. I mean, he was the progenitor of the Gentile nations. And from what I understand, those Gentile nations, if we break it down to who they are today, is all European nations. Now, Esau, you understand, was what had happened was, you understand, because of his hatred for Jacob, you understand, he went and portrayed himself in the behind the scenes with those Gentile nations. Now, you can't become a Gentile, you understand. He has to maintain his same genealogy, his same seed line, the same nation was Esau, which was Hebrew, you understand, because he was Jacob's son, Jacob's brother. That's just my opinion.
All right.
Okay.
That'll work. That works for me. Sister, not anything else?
Yes. The guest that asked the question about Esau clarified her question. I mean the servants and handmaids. Will they live long years, or die regular?
Everybody will live long life in this kingdom. Like he said, the sinner that lives a long life is going to be a curse to him. Because he ain't going to want to be here around when he get beat up the way he going to get beat up. Because people still going to sin. And they're going to be punished beyond compare. There going to be no mess. It's going to be a terrible situation to be in to go against what he says. Because remember, he said that the other nations that are left, and I'll find that scripture for you again, that come up and refuse to keep the Feast of Tabernacle, which is a sin, because sin is the transgression of the law, they will get no rain, which means they won't have no food.
I think people are forgetting this. This is during 1,000 years. It's not 1,000 years. It's during 1,000 years. All that can happen.
Yes, these are all during 1,000 years of everything that can happen for these other people to decide, I'm not going to do what he say I'm going to do.
Exactly.
Ain't going to be no more of that. You're going to get punished.
Exactly.
Okay, well, on Brother Adonia's information, now Hebrews are not necessarily Israelites, right?
Right.
Does that mean that they're entitled to what the Israelites are supposed to have in the kingdom?
No.
What do you mean entitled to what? What do you mean?
Well, I'm talking about, since we were talking about Israelites and being recovered. Now, the 1/3 was being recovered from the Israelites, right?
Right. Those are Israelites.
So I'm just saying, are the Hebrews going to be? They'll be around somewhere, but they won't necessarily be a part of the kingdom, will they?
They may be some of the other nations. You talking about the Arabs?
You're
talking about Ishmael's family? Those are Hebrews.
Esau is a Hebrew, but he wasn't given the promise.
Romans 9
Esau will be done away with. He will be done away with.
Okay.
Esau won't be here anymore. He will be done away with because of the things that he has done now. He will be done away with. Because Esau was a Hebrew Israelite. He wasn't he wasn't. He was just a Hebrew. But he will be done away with. But you're talking about all of Abraham's children. You know what I'm saying? All of them people, it's a possibility they will still be here. That's why when the white people come up and say, well, wait a minute. He died. He didn't just die for the Israelites. He died for the whole world. And he did. To a certain point, and let me explain what I'm going to say about that. Because not only are we going to benefit from it, but the nations that are left are going to have to comply to the way things are done in the 1,000-year reign, and that's the whole world. But it doesn't necessarily mean that all of them are going to make it either. It's only going to be a select few, and it's only going to be nations that he's going to allow to be able to make it. And then if they make it, they still have to follow behind the laws, and we will be there to make sure they do.
So that's what that scripture means. It says the salvation of the Jews, meaning that the Jews come first, and others have to follow them.
Yes, ma'am. That's exactly what that means. Yes, ma'am. That's exactly what that means. Exactly. Yes, ma'am. They're gonna have to follow the laws, and they're gonna have to comply, or they're gonna be done away with.
Okay. So a guest asked, so everyone in the 1,000 years will be there, the whole 1,000 years, no death.
What did I just tell them that they could die?
No, there's going to be people that's going to live to be.
They needed the clarification.
There's going to be people that's going to live normal lives. They're going to live to be 100, you understand, and et cetera, and they're going to perish. Everybody doesn't live 1,000 years.
Right.
Exactly. They're going to live. If the infant lives to be 100 years old,
right,
then the old person is going to live a lot longer, but they're still going to die.
Right. Okay. I hope that's clarification for you.
But it's not the third that was.
Yes, I thought she said they will want to die and can't. They have
no, to. I said the sinner will hate the fact that he has to live a long life because he's going to be punished during that time before he's able to die. He's still going to have a day to die. But you know what I'm saying? Have you ever been in a nursing home and them old people be hollering, please take me, Lord, please take me, Lord. And they tired of being punished. That's how they going to be. Because they ain't going to be able to sneak and get away with nothing because we going to be on them.
Like white on rice now.
You better believe it. You know you won't live this way. Ain't gonna be no homosexuality and all that mess going on in there, and none.
Okay, so the sinners are going to have to be. I can't believe there would be any sinners. You mean from the other nations?
For the other nations.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You know they're gonna try to get away with stuff.
Because even when he said he have to rule them with a rod of iron, meaning that they're going to be doing some stupid stuff that they shouldn't be doing.
They're going to be doing some stupid stuff or trying to get away with some stupid stuff anyway.
Yeah.
You know it's going to be somebody that's going to try to rebel and take over, and it's going to be shut down at the door. Like, we're not having it. And that's what the Immortals are for. Ain't going to be none of that. We ain't having it. Exactly. This kingdom going to run smoothly with peace.
Right.
It ain't going to be no mess.
They die in 1,000 years. Are they going to be resurrected at the second resurrection?
Is who going to be resurrected at the second resurrection?
Those who die in the 1,000 years, I guess the sinners, are they going to be resurrected at the second resurrected?
Yeah, but
that's going to be white. That's going to be the white throne of judgment. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, judgment.
That's judgment. That's when Yah come down, and it's the white throne of judgment.
Because you have 1,000 years to get it right.
You got to back up. You better believe that. Yeah. Or however long you live in during that 1,000 years to get it right.
Yep, you had time. You had time.
All right, let's go back to the thing. Can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
130 Immortals. Here we go. We're going to go over Matthew 22 again. Real short. We're just going to do 24 to 28, hopefully. Well, we already know that, where he said if a man died and he have a wife, and he took and she died, whose husband would she be? And he said that neither can they die anymore, for they are equal unto the angels. They are the children of the Most High, and we doing all that. Now, the difference. Let me show you what the difference is. The difference between the mortals and the immortals. Zechariah chapter 13. It says, in that day there shall be a fountain open to the house of David and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem for sin and uncleanliness. It shall come to pass in that day, saith the Most High host, that I will cut off the names of idols out of the land, of course, and they shall no more be remembered. And also I will cause the prophets and the unclean spirits to pass out of the land. And it shall come to pass that when any shall prophesy, then his father and his mother that begot him shall say unto him, thou shalt not live. For thou speakest lies in the name of the Most High. And his father and his mother that begot him shall thrust him through when he prophesieth. And it shall come to pass in that day that the prophet shall be ashamed, every one of his visions, when he hath prophesied. Neither shall they wear a rough garment to deceive. But he shall say, I am no prophet, I am a husbandman, for man taught me to keep cattle from my youth. And one shall say unto him, what are these wounds in thine hand? And he shall answer, those with which I was wounded in the house of my friend. Awake, O sword, against my shepherds, and against the man that is my fellow, saith the Most High of hosts. Smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered, and I will turn my hand upon the little one. It shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Most High, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the 1/3 shall be left therein. And I will bring the 3rd part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. And they shall call upon my name, and I will hear them, and I will say, it is my people. And they shall say, the Most High is my Elohim. So the difference between us and them is that we're going to be the 1/3 that's going to be redeemed, and they're going to be the mortals that will be born. But in the city, in the 1,000-year reign, there are going to be 2 different types of people. One that's immortal and one that's mortal. One is going to rule the government, and the other will take care of the temple and Yah and the people, just like they did at Mount Sinai. Any questions? It's going to be a kingdom, and he will be there. He will be in the mountain in his house. Y'all got quiet on me now. Anybody have any questions they want to talk? Anything? No?
There's a question. HB wants to know, where do the 144,000 fit in all of this?
They will come back to war with him. That 144,000 are men, and those are virgins. That's 12,000 out of each tribe. And they're going to come back and war with him. That's going to be during the time of the tribulation period, at the end of the tribulation period, where everybody's going to get a seal on their forehead, so that, that the Most High has identified those that are his. Now, there are going to be a lot of people that's going to believe in all of this that's not going to make it in the wilderness, and they're going to die. That doesn't mean that they're not a part of the 1/3. They just didn't make it in the wilderness. They're going to have to get their head cut off, though, to make it.
Right.
And I don't want to get my head cut off.
Me either. Sister Aina, a guest asked, Yahushua, is that Israel? I guess they need clarification.
Is Yahushua Israel? Yes. Yes. And that's what I call him anyway. You can call him Yahushua if you want to.
No, oh no. Well, they're talking about something else. They're talking about in Zechariah 13:6. Does that refer to Yahushua?
Where is that when he says the wounds in his hands? Is that what it says?
Whatever Zechariah 13 is.
Hold on. Let me check. Hold on. This probably is, yeah.